scheduled performer tonight, but don't despair. We also have a whole list of people that have signed up for the open mic, so I hope you all stick around for that. Up next, we have a student activist at Peace Action Maine, Hanna Johnson.
Hey everyone. Such a big crowd. Like Lorraine, I'm also reading from Battlefield Without Borders, but after that I also have one of my own poems, just to keep the momentum going. Funny thing, part of speech and debate at my school, and I read 2 of these poems from there, and I thought I did a really good job, but I didn't make finals, and I'm starting to think that when we talk about the war in Iraq, it makes people really uncomfortable. And one thing is that we got to get over being uncomfortable with what our country's doing.
Yeah.
This is I Wish, letter to Sitar. Sitar, I wish you could say that those North Americans and Europeans who came like refugees to your country, empty-handed, illiterate, stupefied by travel, whom you ferried safely forth and back, across the jagged ocean of rock and sand between Jordan and Iraq, even as winds increased and stone fists rose, even as that lunatic storm, raving and possessed, and implacable as a fire approached. All the while, it was your precious children directly in its path. In Iraq we landed, painting like migratory birds blown off course, nearly imperceptible dots on a swirling urban landscape, driven from our homes by a bubbling cauldron of war about to boil over. Oh, didn't your country clothe and feed us with its passion for justice, its intelligence, its terror, its outrage? Didn't it befriend us? Didn't a strong wind carry us home? I wish I could say that wave upon wave, we landed in North America and Europe, crashing their shores, and joining arm in arm, like a tsunami, we rose and spread the earth, taking with us everything: ears, fences, newspapers, media outlets, microphones, government buildings, and drowning every corridor of power. We swamped those flames, and I can call you comrade and brother. And yes, we did rise in numbers, and yes, we will continue this struggle. But I wish I could declare with Marxian confidence, like Neruda, that grain will grow in your country, that electricity, like blood, will flow uninterrupted. Rich arteries of power and life pulsing, that nothing will fall from your sky except sunshine and water. And rivers run clean to your faucets, that your children will grow like stalks in a vast sun-drenched field of wheat, their minds like small stars gathering to themselves, planets, moons, atmospheres, their heads crowned with swollen kernels of light. But no, war, the great gray glacier marches from the north, carrying lightning and thunder, generating its own weather, grinding and scraping, freezing your economy, crushing everything in its path. And who can say, besides destruction and death, what will follow, and whether I will ever see you again? Alright, and then this is just something that I wrote a couple days ago, and I was reading it to my mom before I left for this, and she said it's kind of anarchy, so I hope people are agreeing with that feeling. Selfish visions entrance the world. Don't expect intelligence and love when all you give is the notion of self-entertainment, self-righteousness. I cry out to no politician who screams like God in the pulpit. Do not make me an instrument of your peace, because I have seen your peace violate and tear down everything into one tiny atom. We are no longer people, but shadows disguising as a religious war front, oil-hungry, driven by ambition in an undeclared war, in the name of justice, the name of hate. Oh, I've read your propaganda, so patriotic for my country, so patriarchal for me. I can now live in tradition based on my female anatomy. When Katrina fell from the sky, Mr. President, bearing sorrow and pain, dead bodies, and destroyed homes, you did not rush to those Americans, those black Americans. Tragedy is only tragedy if it happens to you. And for my generation, who thinks that killing people over natural resources is appropriate, then I say it's appropriate to end this conquest of the Middle East. When you don't know squat about Iraq, that Saddam, a secular Ba'athist, hated Al-Qaeda just as equal and opposite as President Bush loved Saudi Arabia. So my Americans, my amber-waved country, fight like your blood knows how. Tear down this capitalistic democracy of a republic and restore us back in America. Woo!